Welcome! Today I'll guide you through making a delicious sponge cake. We'll go through each step, from preparing the batter to baking and serving. Let's get started. First, we'll need 4 large eggs to give our sponge cake structure and volume. Next, 200 grams or 1 cup of granulated sugar for sweetness and to help with the texture. We'll use 200 grams or 1 2/3 cups of all-purpose flour for the body of the cake, combined with 1 teaspoon of baking powder to help it rise. Add 1/4 teaspoon of salt to enhance the flavors. For the wet ingredients, you'll need 100 milliliters or half a cup of whole milk to keep the cake moist and 100 grams or half a cup of unsalted butter, melted to add richness. Finally, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract for a lovely aroma and flavor. Alright, let's get started. First, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. While that's heating up, take your cake pan and grease it well to prevent the cake from sticking. Then line the bottom with parchment paper for easy removal later. Now, let's move on to the dry ingredients. In a mixing bowl, sift together 200 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Sifting helps to combine them evenly and adds air, making our cake light and fluffy. Once sifted, set this bowl aside for now. Next, let's beat the eggs and sugar. Take a large mixing bowl and crack in the 4 large eggs. Using an electric mixer on medium-high speed, beat the eggs until they become thick and pale, which should take about 5 minutes. Now gradually add the 200 grams or 1 cup of granulated sugar while continuing to beat. Keep mixing until the mixture is light and fluffy. This will incorporate air, making our sponge cake nice and airy. Now, let's combine the wet ingredients. In a small saucepan, pour in 100 milliliters or half a cup of whole milk and add 100 grams or half a cup of unsalted butter. Heat this over medium heat until the butter is completely melted, but make sure not to let it boil. Once the butter is melted, remove the saucepan from the heat and stir in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. This will add a lovely aroma and flavor to our cake. Now it's time to fold in the dry ingredients. Take the sifted flour mixture and gradually add it to the egg mixture. Use a spatula and gently fold it in to maintain the airiness of the batter. Go slowly and be gentle, making sure everything is well combined without deflating the mixture. This step is crucial for a light and fluffy sponge cake. Next, let's add the milk mixture. Slowly pour the warm milk and butter mixture into the batter. Gently fold it in with a spatula until fully incorporated. Take your time to ensure the batter remains smooth and slightly runny. This careful folding helps maintain the light texture of the sponge cake. Now, let's bake the cake. Pour the batter into your prepared cake pan, spreading it evenly. Place the pan in the oven and bake for 25 to 30 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. When done, remove the cake from the oven and let it cool in the pan for about 10 minutes. After that, transfer the cake to a cooling rack to cool completely. This ensures it sets nicely and is easy to handle. Finally, let's serve the cake. Once your sponge cake is completely cooled, you can frost or decorate it as you like. Enjoy it plain with a dusting of powdered sugar, or get creative by layering it with whipped cream and fresh fruit. Your delicious sponge cake is now ready to be enjoyed. And lastly, here are some tips for a perfect sponge cake. Room temperature ingredients. Make sure your eggs and milk are at room temperature for better mixing and volume. Beating the eggs. Properly beating the eggs and sugar is crucial for the cake's light texture. Look for a pale, thick mixture. Folding technique. Use a gentle folding technique to incorporate the dry ingredients and milk mixture to avoid deflating the batter. Temperature consistency. Avoid overmixing or overheating the milk mixture. It should be warm, not hot, to integrate smoothly into the batter. Cooling the cake. Allow the cake to cool in the pan before transferring to avoid breakage. Enjoy your light and fluffy sponge cake.